Hey, Pork Chop here. I'm at J&J Toy Store out in Virginia Beach, and we're gonna find out what keeps those fires lit. Hello.
Come on in.
All right, we're gonna go have an interview. So I'm here with Jason Lynch, J&J
Hello.
Toys, and we're gonna find out what keeps his fire lit. Jay, good to see you again, brother.
What's up, brother?
Long time no see.
Yes, sir.
How you been?
Same old stuff, man. How about you?
Yeah, busy.
Right.
Never a dull moment.
That's right.
So I'm here for a reason, and that's to find out what keeps your fire lit. Got a list of questions in my pocket.
All right.
You don't know what these questions are. No heads up whatsoever. Nothing bad, I promise. Alright, so the store is located at 3101 Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach.
Yes, sir.
In
Rose Hall Shopping Center. It's close to Kings Grant Road in Virginia Beach, right on the boulevard, Quentin's Tea. And there's a State Farm here and a couple other shops, but it's like right across the street from Duck Donuts on Virginia Beach Boulevard.
You didn't tell me that was there when I was looking for food earlier. So this isn't part of the interview questionnaire, but what is it that y'all specialize in here?
Mostly vintage toys. Jimmy's a huge wrestling fan, as you can see. He's got a ton of WWE figures. But that's not all. We've got G.I. Joe, we've got Marvel, DC, a ton of Star Wars, we've got the Funko Pops, we've got Transformers, we've got Diecast, we've got some, we got some of the kids, small, more for the little girls, Smushy Mushy. We've got all kinds of stuff in here, mostly vintage though.
I walked in and I looked at my wallet to see how much money I had. It wasn't enough. All right, well, let's get started with the questions. Shouldn't take too long. It's only 6 questions. You're kind of part owner of J&J Toys and Collectibles, and how long has this been a dream of yours?
For as long as I can remember, man. I mean, I've got kids that are grown now, so I remember when my kids were little, and it was an excuse to collect toys. You know, take Jacob to the toy section and be like, "Oh, gotta get that."
Oh, he's gonna love this.
Yeah, he's gonna love this toy. But I'm the main one playing with it.
You can't open it.
Yeah, no, it stays in the package.
I did that with my son. So
me and Jimmy have known each other since probably 6th grade, 1985 or so. So we've been friends.
I'm not going to tell you how old I was.
35 years, and we used to play G.I. Joe and watch WWF and wrestle each other, and it was always about having fun and playing with toys for us, So
right. Not a lot of people have friends that they've known that long, and especially get into something like this.
Right. Oh yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, second question. How long did it take you to get to this point where you're at now with the store and everything?
It actually came about pretty quick. Jimmy and his wife own the store right down from us, Quentin's Tea Emporium, and so of course they rent every month, and they were made aware that this spot came open, and it all came together pretty quick. We kind of jumped into things head first with no glasses on, and we're starting to find out that there's
water's pretty deep.
There's some hurdles that we gotta make it over to make things happen. But we're in it for the long haul. I mean, he's a big time toy collector, and he's not here with us right now because he's out making purchases. He's hitting flea markets and the Walmarts, the Targets, the Ollie's, wherever you got to make it to
Just wheeling and dealing.
Exactly, exactly. It's always something.
Right. Yeah. Got to be in something like this. You really gotta know your stuff.
Oh yeah, you got to know what you're getting into. You got to know. In today's world, there's so many fakes. You know, there's stuff that comes from overseas. Most of it comes from overseas anyway. But then you got people that are making fakes and putting those out. So you really got to be careful where, you know, somebody might not even know what they have and they're trying to sell it to you as an original.
Right.
And you do that little bit of research and you find out this isn't even real. This is a fake.
What's a Funko Pop?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, you really got to be careful with what you're getting into, man, because there's so many different types of toys and, you know, from so many different eras. And
you were talking earlier about a guy will 3D print the weapons that come with G.I. Joes and sell them off as originals.
Yep. Yeah, you got to be careful. There's some shisty people out there that sell stuff that, you know, they just piece it together and make their own and glue stuff back together. And it's like, man, that's not cool. That's non-disclosure. We wouldn't want to do anything like that to our customers.
Yeah.
You know, if it was broken, we're going to tell you, hey, this has been glued back together, but I can't say that we have anything like that here in our store.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Does this ever keep you up at night?
Somewhat, but I think Jimmy's the night owl out of the two of us, and he actually gets to make his own schedule, so he'll do a lot of the online buying or online selling, and he'll be up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning looking at stuff or buying stuff, or you know, he'll be in here pricing stuff, and it's basically, you know, it's our part-time / full-time, because we both work full-time jobs, but we try to keep this going. And like I said, Jimmy's he's a lot more into it than I am, because he lives closer, plus a lot of this stuff in the shop is actually his, you know. I'm his friend, I'm going to help him, but I don't own nearly as much stuff as he does. It's crazy to think how much stuff he's a hoarder.
Well, hopefully hoarding will pay off.
Right.
All right, let's see here. All right, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of changes for good and bad when it comes to this particular source of income. How do you plan on keeping up?
I think the main thing is just to make sure that we are buying the right stuff, you know, and you want to make sure that you keep a good amount of stock, but you also want to make sure you're buying the right stock, because there's so many toys out, like getting back to what I said earlier about the fakes, and you know, you got to make sure you're buying the right stuff. You got to make sure that you keep the right stock for, you know, all ages. Most of our stuff is going to be geared towards older collectors in, you know, their 30s, 40s, 50s, like us, that have been into toys for years and years, and they come in and look at a wrestling figure and it takes them back to the 1980s when they were watching it, or, you know, the G.I. Joe figures that they played with as a kid.
Right.
The Funko Pop figures that they make, there's so many that people can relate to, because they make so many.
Right.
But not only that, but making sure that we deal with the right companies, because, you know, us being a small business, we can't go to a Hasbro or Mattel and buy $20,000 worth of toys, because that's the initial order has to be $20,000, and you got to be able to sell $100,000 worth of toys in a year. So it's like that's definitely out of our league. You know, we're small right now. You know, eventually we'd love to be big enough to say, hey, we're going to expand to another store. You know, and there's going to be two locations, one for Jim, and I'll run the other one, or whatever we got to do. But you know, just making sure that we keep track of everything and stay on top of what's going on.
the growing trends and everything like that.
Exactly. You know, you can buy as many toys as you want, but if you're not buying the stuff that the kids these days are buying, or some of the collectors that are buying, then you're just going to have a store full of toys that are sitting there collecting dust, and you're not going to be making any money.
And then you'll sell them for about pennies on the dollar.
Right.
At that point, they're vintage, and somebody's selling them for what you wanted to sell them for originally.
Exactly. And it, you know, not just having an actual brick and mortar, but you know, you gotta sell online. There's so many different places that you can go through. You know, Amazon, eBay, Mercury, all the different online platforms that you can use. If you have your own, then you know that opens you up to a whole new audience of not just people that can come into your store, but people that can find you online and say, oh look, they got a website, I can buy it and get it shipped to me in Timbuktu and not have to worry about it, you know, because they're not here local.
Right, and I'm pretty sure that social media is going to be a
big
thing like that.
Exactly. So nowadays you can list on Instagram or Facebook or, you know, all the different platforms for social media. You just put up a post and hashtag J&J Toys or toy collectors, you know, try to get people interested. And, you know, like I said, if they can't make it into the actual store, at least they can buy it online and we can ship it to them.
Awesome. Final question. What keeps your fire lit?
For me, I think the thrill of finding things and just knowing that there's so many different types of toys and different types of people that collect different toys, that you're going to meet somebody and they're going to introduce you to something that you may have forgotten about it over the years. You're like, oh yeah, I remember when I was 12, 13 years old and I used to play with a Mask figure, or, you know, this different figure, Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe or what have, you know, it's a different character that you might have forgotten about, or, you know. But to me, I think the thrill of the actual hunt and going out, like this morning before I came to the shop, I hit 2 different Walmarts, 2 Targets. I'm going in and going straight to the toy section and looking to see what can I buy, not only for the shop, but hey, it might be something I'm into collecting. So, you know, my wife tells people she's got 3 kids and I'm the oldest, so I'm the one that's always out looking for toys, and she'll go to a store and be like, okay, what is it I'm looking for? What is it you want?
I've been to your house and you've got a room dedicated to...
Right, and that's the hardest part for me. Jimmy's got a whole warehouse dedicated to toys. He's ready to sell. I've got a whole room dedicated to toys that I'm not sure if I'm ready to sell it all yet. So that's one thing. Jimmy's fire is probably burning a little bit hotter than mine, but we're still on the same page as far as wanting to get our foot in the door and actually making, you know, there is no toy stores around here anymore. You don't have a Toys R Us. You don't have a Toy Castle, KB Toys, K&K Toys. I remember going to toy stores as a kid, and it's like, oh man, you got all these different selection, all these different places you can go. Nowadays, it's Target or Walmart, and that's about it. There's really not much else you can choose from except for online.
Yeah, just sit down and wonder what Amazon has in the way of this, and look it up, and boom, there it is for $20.
And you know, you never know what you're going to get online either, because you can't inspect it in your hand and look at it and say, okay, it's in good shape. I'm ready to spend that $50 that I worked hard for.
Yeah.
You know, and you get something online, you get it in the mail, and it's freaking destroyed. You're like, oh man, I just wasted $50. You know. I was
telling you about that little Marvel display that I've got, and the guy didn't say that he super glued all the figures into place. They're all the points of articulation are super glued, and they're super glued to the base. So I got it, and I kind of had to like it the way it's set up.
Right, exactly.
So,
yep.
But
yeah, it definitely makes a big difference when you can hold something in your hand and look at it and say, oh man, yeah, I remember this when I was oh man, I remember doing, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe, Duke, Roadblock, all these different characters.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference when you can hold the toy in your hand and be like, oh man, yes, I want to buy this.
Right. All right. Well, Jay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's take a little tour and see what you got to offer.
All right, yeah,
and,
yeah, that'll work.
All right, cool.
It's a work in progress. Our store is still going through construction. There's plenty of stuff that we have to get done before we're ready to open to the public. But
and I'll make
we have no shortage on toys here.
I'll make an announcement on my Facebook page when they do open, when they have their grand opening, and I hope you share it too, because this is kid's dream come true right here, an adult kid.
That's right.
You know, so all right. Well, let me grab the camera and we'll look around.
All right.
All right. So now we're gonna take a little walk through and see what all the store's gonna have to offer. And boom, there's Jason.
We have a ton of stuff here, you guys, and it's nowhere near being completely organized. Over here, as you can see, we have a ton of Star Wars stuff. A ton. We've got the Black Series. We got first generation, second generation. We've got a ton of Star Wars vehicles, figures, play sets. We've got this huge bad boy right here. We're thinking about mounting him to the ceiling.
If y'all can't find a place for it, there's a perfect place in my house.
And like I was saying, we got a bunch of the Funko Pops. This is only about maybe 1/4 of what we actually have. Jimmy's got a whole ton in his warehouse. Some Marvel figures with the Marvel Pops.
That's
got some guys down here. I know that's Pork Chop's favorite.
Make mine Marvel.
Got DC Universe next to the Marvel. Jimmy's a huge DC fan. Hall of Justice. G.I. Joes, of course. This was the toy of choice for me and Jimmy when we were kids. This is how we used to hang out and play our G.I. Joes. We would steal from each other and take our mom's nail polish and paint one of the feet and be like, oh no, that's mine. And be like, yeah, huh? I got you. But G.I. Joes, one of our all-time favorites. You got some Masters of the Universe down here, Game of Thrones. WWE figures. Jimmy has a ton of WWE. Anything you can think of. The classics, the basics. He's got some of the WWE Universe, Masters of the WWE Universe. You got a ton of loose figures in here. The old school LJNs.
I've got that Jesse the Body one at my house. I sent you a picture of him.
Oh yeah. We got a ton of just miscellaneous. We got some Diecast, Monster Jam trucks.
That's your flavor.
Oh yeah, I've been into these since my son was 2 years old. I started collecting those.
Oh, he started collecting them. You were just helping him, right?
Right. I was just buying them for my kid. Transformers. You gotta have Transformers.
You can't go wrong.
This is going to be a little die-cast section with some Marvel Johnny Lightning. Like I said, everything's still... we're still in the process of making things, getting it out on the shelf and making things work. We've got some loose G.I. Joes here. We've got some of the newer G.I. Joes, which are really cool. The 6-inch, the classified series. They sold out on Walmart's website in like 2 or 3 minutes when they released them.
Oh, wow.
We got some more Pops in here. Imagine X. Some more Imagine X stuff. We got some Gremlins down there. More Masters of the Universe stuff up in here. Hellboy. Glowworm. Hong Kong Phooey. Everybody's favorite. Space Ghost. We've got a ton of posters that we haven't even gotten through all of. We got this, we got this. Stuff everywhere. We got this huge Star Wars poster that's in this tube. It's humongous. I mean, you see the tube?
Yeah, you're what? Almost 6 foot?
About 5'9", so the tube, yeah, this is probably about 5 foot by at least 5 foot. It's huge. We've got so much stuff that we've got to figure out and go through.
We won't go into that corner then.
Yeah, that's a bit much over there, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got a little bit of everything for everybody. So hopefully in the next week or two we'll be up and running. We got to get some more stuff done. We got to get a few things priced out, and of course a register and a credit card reader would help. So
yeah,
there's so many little things once you try to open a business that you don't even think about until it's time to go, and you're like, uh-oh, we still needs this.
Right. All right, well, I think that's going to be the end of it. Jay, again, thank you.
Thank you, man.
And as always, keep that fire lit.